I had a real competitive father. My father was so competitive, he didn't let me win anything. I hit a nerve back there. I remember at 4 years old playing hide and seek, right? I had to hide first. I thought I had a good spot. He found me in like 2 minutes, right? And then it was his time to hide, right? So I went to find him. I couldn't find him for 30 years. It's a weird one to clap for. I don't know if you were abandoned or what, but all right, it happens. Are you Latino too? Because that happens in that community. Guys, it's gonna get worse than that. That's a mild racial joke. Calm down. Yeah, I'm glad you guys laughed though. Sometimes people feel bad for me about that. They feel bad my dad wasn't around. And I always try to look at the bright side of things, right? Like I never had to worry about walking to my parents having sex. You know, it was my mom and some other guy. I said that once and somebody asked me how long I watched for. It's an awful question. And obviously I couldn't answer it, right? I couldn't think, like I was really trying to think about it. I couldn't come up with an answer. I couldn't remember a specific amount of time that I watched for. I just knew it was to completion. Yeah, as you're eating. Yeah. And now you're wondering, right? Whose completion was it? Hers, his, mine. Whatever, I finish what I start. Mom didn't raise a quitter, all right? All right, I wasn't going to go into this early, but you guys are fun, so it's worth it. So my dad is back in my life, right? When I was 30 years old, I tracked him down. Okay, I drove all the way down to his house to Mino. I wasn't nervous until I got to his door. And when I got to his door, I realized I hadn't seen him in so long. All these thoughts started coming to my head, right? Like, is he gonna recognize me? You know, are we gonna hug? Is it gonna be awkward? Like, I just didn't know what was gonna happen. All these knots and stuff. But I manned up. I knocked on the door, right? You gotta remember, the last time he saw me, I was yay high, full head of hair, full afro, right? Don't do that. So he, fuck you. Trying to tell this heartfelt story, this bitch laughing at me for being bald. It's crazy. It's crazy that I did that. I can still grow hair, it's just below the waist. Don't do that. Wild to say at a dinner show. Okay. So anyway, I get brave, right? I knock on the door. He opens up, recognizes me immediately. Right? Looks at me, the first thing he says to me, this is not a joke, first thing he says, "What happened to your hair?" Yeah, dick thing to say, right? And I got defensive, so I looked at him and I go, "It left me at a young age like you did." Rough start, right? Rough start, I get it, right? But we make our way inside and we get past it. We have a lot of surface conversation, things are going fine. Now, I didn't know a lot about my father growing up, but one of the things I did know is he had been to prison. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, can you fill me on this prison thing?" Right? Which I do this when I ask uncomfortable questions. I don't know why. We gonna keep this baby? You know what I mean? Miss, you trying to fuck later? No. Sorry. I don't know if you guys were related, but he didn't like that. But anyway, so I asked him to tell me the story, right? And he goes, "Yeah, I have no problem telling you the story. Long story short, I tried to shoot a guy." Not the kind of story you want to leave short, you know what I mean? Also, I really hate when people use that expression in bad ways. I had an Uber driver do that to me the other day. Pick me up from the airport, taking the long way home. I'm like, "Why are we going this way?" Because the other way goes by the local high school, long story short, not allowed near the school. I go, "Hey man, you gotta elaborate. We gotta have more conversation about this. You gotta give me some more details." He was fine. I was out for a walk. I saw a guy across the street that I didn't like, so I shot at him. Yeah, it feels like he skipped a couple steps in the escalation scale. You know what I mean? So then I asked him, like, "Dude, that's a serious reaction. Like, what did this guy do for you to shoot at him?" He goes, "I don't remember." Two kinds of people don't remember why they shot at somebody, all right? An insane person or a professional assassin. Either way, at this point, I'm looking at the exit, you know what I mean? Then he tells me he missed So he went across the street for a better shot.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And now I'm feeling a certain kind of way, right? Because like, he didn't stick around and raise me, but clearly he's capable of follow through. You know what I mean? So then he tells me, he walks up to the guy, puts the gun to the guy's head, pulls the trigger, and the gun jams. So I go, so the only reason you're not in jail for the rest of your life is because the gun malfunctioned? And with all sincerity, he looks at me and goes, yeah, I guess God was looking out for me that day. That's a wild way to look at that situation. Like, if you believe in God, I'm pretty sure he's not looking out for the guy with the gun. You know what I mean? It's like a suicide bomber telling the cops it didn't blow up because Allah changed his mind. You know? Like, it's crazy.